Hello and welcome. My name is Jeffrey Vanderpool, Regional Director, Savoy Associates. I'm here with Cassandra Novak, PEO Business Development Specialist for Savoy Associates as well. And Cassandra is going to talk to us today about the PEO market, landscape, and things that you probably don't know about PEOs today.
Thank you, Jeff.
So, Cassandra, the PEO market then and now. We know what PEO, in fact, tell us what PEO stands for, because I'm making an assumption on an acronym.
PEO stands for Professional Employers Organization, and it's a service that encompasses payroll, benefits, including ancillary, workers' compensation, and HR compliance.
The landscape of PEO, then and now. What was or what were PEOs used for back, I guess, in the 70s when they started? And today, what do PEOs look like for brokers and clients?
So initially, PEOs were developed for the ability to reduce the cost of medical insurance. And in fact, I'll elaborate a little bit more on that. It wasn't even necessarily the cost of medical insurance. It was the ability to reduce your cost in a number of different areas and then also build efficiencies within a company, both small, medium, and even on the larger side, depending on the vertical market that they were in. Particularly if you were looking in the Northeast, it may be a medical insurance play. If you're looking at something down in the southern parts of Florida, it may have been a workers' compensation play on either the cost or having the co-employment relationship and the shared liability. Today, it has changed quite a bit in the sense that it's not so driven on the medical or the workers' compensation side of things, but more on what an employer can gain from the human resource aspect of it, as well as technology. If you think about your cell phone, you go to buy a new cell phone when yours is no longer working, and before you've even walked out of the store, that cell phone is obsolete and they've already got a newer version. So for an employer to keep up with the technology is very difficult today. And then also from an HR compliance standpoint, the HR laws continually change. And if you don't have the internal infrastructure to handle that, you are leaving yourself open for a number of different types of fines and penalties.
That's great. One of the best things about our job is that we get to educate on a regular basis. We get to inform people about things, and we continually learn about our business as well. So we talk about PEOs, we talk about what we know and what we possibly don't know. There are tons of misconceptions out there. Talk to me about what are some of the bigger misconceptions that people have regarding PEOs.
Sure, Jeff, you're correct. There are a number of different misconceptions. I mean, one is that the only reason to go to a PEO is for you to get cheaper medical insurance. Another reason that they may have a misconception is that all PEOs are the same. But the biggest misconception that I come across is that an employer believes that they will lose control if they engage in a PEO. And it's quite the opposite. In fact, it is allowing the employer to gain back the ability to have the aptitude to work in their operation and do what they do best and build revenue for the organization versus handling employee tasks, such as, how many PTO days do I have left over? Or I need to add my wife to my medical plan, or I don't know how to take care of this EOB. So these are things that employees come to their employer and other staff members on a regular basis, and it alleviates a lot of those issues, allowing them to get back to what they do best.
Losing control, I definitely heard that in coming up in the industry with regards to PEOs. I know that's a big part of this and a big part of some of the hesitancy for some of these clients and even brokers in our market. You see, as we talk to some brokers, we've had our meetings with some of them, and we've got the Heisman stiff arm, almost they don't want to speak to us about it. But what would you tell brokers today about why they should educate their clients on the PEO market?
What I would tell brokers today, if they're not talking about PEO, they're missing the mark, particularly because someone else is. So that could mean that there's a PEO sales rep that is knocking on the door of their client and introducing them to PEO, which inevitably means they may lose it to that PEO. And then the other source is that there's other brokers out there that are also trying to gain the BOR for these particular clients. And so if they're mentioning it and you're not, you're more than likely guaranteed to lose that client. It's just another tool in your toolbox, Jeff. So think about it. If you're out doing an open market quote, you're not just delivering one carrier. You're going to discuss all the carriers in the market and what their advantages are, disadvantages are, and then of course where the financial standings are with regards to the premiums. If you're not discussing PEO, you are slighting your client by not providing them with the education that's out there to engage in an opportunity that could essentially build efficiencies within their organization and also save them some money.
How many PEOs are there out there today?
So it varies. I hear all the time that there's about 900 or so across the country, and then I'll get a statistic that says there's about 700. The bottom line is that, just as in any industry, you've got your top 10 that you would prefer to acknowledge. And so Savoy Associates has set up a platform that's going to research and look into what's best for our broker community and clients by only putting the best of excellence in our PEOs and who we operate and work with.
Are they all the same?
PEOs are not all the same. So that could certainly be a misconception. PEOs differentiate themselves from a variety of different ways. They're not all on the same technology platform. Some of them have created their own proprietary software. Others are utilizing software that is out in the marketplace. And there are other variety of things, particularly around the carriers that they use. So one may be using Aetna, one may be using UHC. Again, Savoy Associates has created a model where we have a number of different PEOs that have different carriers so that we can meet the different needs of our clients. And it's the same thing in terms of the technology platform and whether or not they have the same workers' comp carriers as well.
It sounds like this is a no-brainer for, say, a small company, mid-sized organization. However, do you think that a PEO is a fit for everybody?
So you would think that, Jeff, but not necessarily. So there are, again, a variety of reasons that a client may not be a good fit. It could be around the vertical market that they're involved in. It could be a risk liability that the PEO does not want to engage a co-employment relationship with. It could also be that the client doesn't have the level of participation from a medical perspective to engage with a PEO. And then there's also the idea that they are not large enough, that they are more of a startup organization that is not at a particular level that it would make sense administratively in terms of the fees. However, I would not put that as a holding block because we certainly have worked with clients that are very small to thousands of employees.
Anything else you want to say to the market? Anything you want to say to brokers, clients regarding PEOs, regarding something that they definitely should be looking for and not looking past so that they're encompassing every single option that they can possibly look for with regards to their benefits and their programs?
I would just say, Jeff, to keep open-minded and to allow an exploratory meeting in order to find out whether it's the right fit for you or not. There's no guarantees that it is, but you certainly could be missing out if you don't at least open your mind to looking at it. But other than that, I think you've covered it all, Jeff.
I did, right? Thank you very much, Cassie. And by the way, I call her Cassie. She's Cassandra Novak. Business Development Specialist, PEOs for Savoy Associates. My name is Jeffrey Vanderpool, Regional Director, Savoy Associates. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.